The pivotal power descent has begun and the lander module is propelling towards the moon's surface along the intended trajectory.
बेस के एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा की सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये देख सकते हैं कि हम
प्रधानमंत्री जी, सर, वी हैव अचीव्ड सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग ऑन द मून। इंडिया इज ऑन द मून।
भारत चंद्रमा के उस दक्षिणी ध्रुव पर पहुंचा है जहां आज तक दुनिया का कोई भी देश नहीं पहुंच सका।
And that is another great throw from the Indian athlete.
The pivotal power descent has begun and the lander module is propelling towards the moon's surface along the intended trajectory.
बेस के एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा की सतह पे लैंड हो चुका है। ये देख सकते हैं कि हम
प्रधानमंत्री जी, सर, वी हैव अचीव्ड सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग ऑन द मून। इंडिया इज ऑन द मून।
भारत चंद्रमा के उस दक्षिणी ध्रुव पर पहुंचा।
Swami Prasad Maurya says Hinduism is hoax.
हिंदू धर्म नाम की कोई धर्म है ही नहीं। हिंदू धर्म केवल धोखा है।
Is there a pattern to Hindu hate ahead of polls? Does the INDIA bloc endorse the Hindu abuse? Debating tonight at 10 p.m. Swami Prasad Maurya says Hinduism is hoax.
हिंदू धर्म नाम की कोई धर्म है ही नहीं. हिंदू धर्म केवल धोखा है.
Is there a pattern to Hindu hate ahead of polls? Does the INDIA bloc endorse the Hindu abuse? Debating tonight at 10 p.m.
From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 10, powered by Reva University, Quick Heal, Green Lamb Laminates, PolicyBazaar.com and Cucina, co-powered by Mankind Pharma and Tata Punch.
Good evening and welcome back. At time now for the nation's sharpest opinion, ladies and gentlemen. The part where I speak my mind, I always do. I never pull my punches, I never do, and I want to talk about something that I want you to think about. And viewers, this group that we call the lobby, you can call them pseudos, you can call them anti-nationals, you can call them secularati, you can call them pseudo-secular, you can call them whatever you want. You can call them Tukre gang. It goes by many names. Some of them applicable, some of them non-applicable, some of them substitutable, some of them non-substitutable. But the bottom line is there is such a group, whatever you call it. This amorphous group exists. And this group, ladies and gentlemen, has one central quality. If any random person makes a comment which appears to be against any member of the minority community or the minority community or minorities or anyone else, or a random statement or a violent statement may not be against a minority community, or a hateful statement or an intolerant statement or an unacceptable statement or anything which is wrong, then that statement will be seen to be the official view of the BJP and the official view of the Modi government. Now this may be spoken about by someone who nobody has ever heard of, who probably hasn't even heard of himself or herself. But the entire lobby's media will jump on that comment and say, no, this reflects the views of an intolerant India after Narendra Modi became Prime Minister. Bizarre, ridiculous. And then rags like the New York Times will pick it up as the official view, blah, blah, blah. We know how that system works. But there is another attribute of this group. If the senior most leader, the most significant leader, the most important leader, a well-known personality, a spokesperson, a representative person, a chief minister's right-hand man, national general secretary of a national party were to make a comment from their side that is full of hate, hatred, intolerance, malice, venom, and is vexatious by nature, then that comment will be seen to be that person's individual opinion. And they will say, no, that view does not represent the views of our party or our alliance or anyone. Now this is hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen, with a capital H. I don't understand. Which is when Swami Prasad Maurya says, Hinduism, Hindu dharm jaisi koi cheez hi nahi hai. He says Hinduism is a hoax. We are told, no, he is speaking in his individual capacity. What individual capacity? This person, a recent import into the Samajwadi Party, is the veritable face and voice of the Samajwadi Party. And the Samajwadi Party is an integral part of the I.N.D.I.A. alliance. It's a reality. How can the comment of Swami Prasad Maurya that Hinduism is a hoax be understood to be his individual opinion? And how is it that the alliance that Mr. Maurya and his party are a part of has no views on what he said? Now let me turn the argument the other way around and put it forward to you in this way. Why Hinduism? Why only Hinduism? Why always Hinduism? And no, I am not suffering from some culture of victimhood when I say that. I am simply being assertive. As a proud Hindu, everybody has a right to ask, and so do I, and so do you if you are a proud Hindu. Then why is Hinduism abused like this? Flip the scales and ask yourself, if an important BJP leader, if an important BJP leader had uttered such words describing any other religion as a hoax, what would the reaction have been? Would Al Jazeera, New York Times and other similar rags not have gone berserk and said, yes, on the eve of the G20, this reflects the views of the majoritarian government in the country? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the principal paradox. A paradox that today people in our country can call the religion that 80% and more of this country believe in, swear by, and are part of to be a hoax. And I say no more. No more of this. For every such statement must be filled with both a legal dimension, an ethical dimension, and a dimension of accountability. The hashtag tonight, Stop the Anti-Hindu Rant, therefore, is not a response, ladies and gentlemen. It is an assertion. In times like this, let's debate.
हिंदू धर्म नाम की कोई धर्म है ही नहीं. हिंदू धर्म केवल धोखा है.
Samajwadi Party leader has done it again. He has openly abused Hinduism.
कि ब्राह्मणवाद की जहरें बहुत गहरी हैं और सारी विषमता का कारण भी ब्राह्मणवाद ही है. हिंदू धर्म नाम की कोई धर्म है ही नहीं. हिंदू धर्म केवल धोखा है. सही मायने में जो ब्राह्मण धर्म है उसी ब्राह्मण धर्म को हिंदू धर्म कहकर के इस देश के दलितों, आदिवासियों, पिछड़ों को अपने भ्रम के मकड़जाल में फंसाने की इनकी एक साजिश है.
It seems this leader has been given a free hand to abuse Hinduism.
देखिए, रामचरितमानस को लेके मुझे कोई एतराज नहीं है, लेकिन रामचरितमानस के कुछ अंश जिसमें जातियों को इंगित करते हुए, वर्ग विशेष को इंगित करते हुए, वर्ण विशेष को इंगित करते हुए कटाक्ष किया गया है, अपमानजनक टिप्पणियां की गई हैं. उन अपमानजनक टिप्पणियों को प्रतिबंधित किया जाना चाहिए, ये हमारी मांग है.
लखनऊ में लक्ष्मण का कोई योगदान नहीं है. लखनऊ राजा लाखन पारसी की धरती रही है. लखनऊ राजा लाखन पारसी की राजधानी रही है. नेताजी और मुलायम सिंह यादव और घनश्याम जी का गठबंधन हुआ था तो उस समय नारा गूंजा था, मिले मुलायम घनश्याम, मिले मुलायम घनश्याम.
And with no responses from the INDIA alliance on the objectionable comments, questions are being raised if Hindu hate is a prerequisite in alliance.
You know, I think the Parliament House, these are distractions. The real issues in India are unemployment, price rise, spread of anger and hatred, a crumbling education system, price of education, price of healthcare. These are the real issues. BJP can't really discuss them, so then they have to do the whole scepter thing, lying down and.
हिंदू धर्म वाले आतंकवादी पकड़े गए हैं, सब संघ के कार्यकर्ता रहे हैं।
हिंदू धर्म, वो धर्म, ये धर्म, हिंदू शब्द कहाँ से आ गया है? ये हमारा है, पर्शियन का है, ईरान, इराक, कजाकिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान, फिर भारत का उधर का क्या संबंध है? फिर आपका कैसा होगा हिंदू का जो मीनिंग है वो बहुत गंदी है।
Can attack on Hinduism be given a long rope? Let's debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have right-leaning political analyst Vineet Goenka, who's also with the BJP. Professor Geeta Bhatt, right-leaning political analyst. Well-known Vedic scholar Dushyant Sridhar. Rashmi Samant, right-leaning activist. And she is the author of a very interesting book called A Hindu in Oxford, which is a must-read, doing very well. Vivek Srivastava, who is a left-leaning political analyst affiliated to the CPI, Lokesh Jindal of the Congress Party, and Asghar Khan. Now, consider this, Vivek, if this comment that Hinduism is a hoax was to be made by a BJP leader against any other religion, I'm not even naming the religion, saying this religion is a hoax, that religion is a hoax. Suppose a BJP leader had made that comment, right? What would have happened after that? I'm just wondering, how would political parties have responded? What kind of debate would we have had in this country?
Arnab, firstly, I think we need to analyze Swami Prasad Maurya ji more as a social reformer, more as a person who's on the wrong side of the caste structure of this country. And he keeps on making statements, but I do not think he's trying to actually attack Hindu religion as such. He's trying to simply point out the Brahmanical structure of dominance that has been there in this country for ages. And he does belong to the Hindu structure himself, so he's
What is Hindu structure? Hinduism is a religion.
Yeah, Hinduism is a religion.
What do you mean by Hindu structure?
No, Hindu structure means you have well-defined caste structure inside.
Would you say Islamic structure, or would you say Islam as a religion?
No, Islam
then
is
why do you define Hinduism as a structure?
Because,
why do you use words like that?
Because even in religious texts like the Bhagavad Gita, Varna Vyavastha has been mentioned, casteism has been mentioned, Manusmriti talks about it. So, that has been an evil that has...
No, answer the question here.
Yes.
I'm not doing this deep discussion on Hinduism, on which you are wrong, but I have question being, Dushyant, that if such a comment were to be made, Dushyant Sridhar, about any other religion, I'm only talking about the kind of response that would have followed, and that's the starting point for this discussion today. Dushyant.
Namaskaram, Arnab, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. We have such wonderful things on technology happening in our Bharata Desham. And on the other side, we have such uncultured statements coming from people. Nevertheless, Arnab, loko bhinna ruchihi. People are of different types, so we can't correct all of them. And on an average, once a month, I come to Republic TV to defend Hinduism from a person who has been abusing. This has been happening once a month. So every month there's somebody who abuses. That said, Arnab, your question was why? Because I feel it is the mistake of the Hindus. It's not the mistake of Swami Prasad Maurya. If the 80% of the Hindu population in Bharata Desham gets assertive, is very sensitive to such obnoxious comments made against the religion, and the biggest tool that we have, we don't have to take guns, we don't have to abuse, we have the vote with us. And if 80% of the Hindus decide very decisively, assertively to vote these people out, I'm sure, Arnab, you will do a show. The same Swami Prasad Maurya will be running house after house with a pamphlet saying that Hinduism is the best religion. It is because we Hindus are not assertive. On what basis has he claimed? Is he a historian? There are Chinese accounts. There are Chinese accounts. There are Chinese accounts which are 1,800 years old that state that this is the land of Intu, which is Hindu. which is the land of stable knowledge. Chandrama Manaso Jataha. We have How much does he know about history?
Yes, but it was dominated by one particular community.
No, for example, sir.
No, it was dominated by one particular community.
Okay, then
you have a reservation system in temples where only one community can become priest.
I'll come to you.
Break the reservation in the temples. Have Dalit Shankaracharyas. Why don't you do it?
Of statements. Why or not? Then we have to give statements from the other holy books which do not give equal importance to women, where women are never allowed into their places of worship. If we believe that all religions have to talk about reforms, then the other person who's now
No, you are diverting to other religions now. I'm talking about Hinduism now.
Why can't I divert to other religion when we are talking about Hinduism? When you say that all religions are equal before the eye
coming
of the
here as a Vedic scholar.
Then you have to talk about the other religion.
No,
then
I would. No. There is a. No. Let's deal with the real issue here, Vineet. And the issue here, Lokesh. First of all, before I go into the issue itself, I want to deal with the political part of what Dushyant.
Just one point.
Because
one point.
Yes.
Or not just one point.
Yes.
One of the panelists said that it's been a Brahminical dominance. Then one of the prominent leaders of the Congress party then took his Janeyu outside and said, I'm a Janeyu Dhari. So is he for or against Brahminical dominance?
Sir, can I answer?
Nobody is against Brahmins. We are against the dominance of any one particular community or caste.
No, I think that
so
that's what the point is.
So Hinduism is a hoax.
First of all, though I must not say this before Dushyant, because he knows far more about Hinduism. But having been trained in sociology and social anthropology, let me tell you this, that Western thinkers have applied their Western lens on the Hindu religion and tried to classify it. Unfortunately, you've not studied it. Otherwise, you would have understood that the Western philosophers tried to apply Western models of social stratification to study Hindu society, and this was lapped up by people who were using studies on India and Hinduism done by French and European and British social anthropologists. Social anthropologists would study it with a view to using their understanding of society to rule India. And I think that only people who have an inferiority complex want to go by a Western understanding of their own society. I don't think any self-respecting African leader would expect German or French understanding on Africa to help them define who they are. So I think that there is a fundamentally intellectual flaw here, but that's not the issue. Vineet, Dushyant says something very interesting. He says that Hinduism must be politically assertive. One minute, just 1 minute. He says Hinduism must be politically assertive. He said the day 80% Hindus come together to teach these anti-Hindu leaders and anti-Hindu parties a lesson, then things will change. I want your take on that, because that's a very important statement made by a non-politician on my panel.
I'll just take 30 seconds to answer the first panelist. Sir, Hinduism is a way of living and it's third largest religion. And he had a question that in Bhagavad Gita, it mentions about Varna Veda. But I would like to bring your attention to chapter 18 verses, that is the mantra which is 41, where it says that it is not the birth, but it's the work and the gunas which defines the varnas. So please correct yourself. One. Number two, sir, I did not interpret. I had that patience. Number two, you talked about Shankaracharya ji to be Dalit. Let me remind you, the historical book, Ramayana, was written by Ratnakar, who became Valmiki after writing it. So this is the only Sanatan Dharma which allows a person
exactly what I meant by saying the Western understanding of
also
caste
my idol, my personal idol
is unacceptable. Yes.
My personal idol, Swamiji, said that we see everybody to be divine, every person is to be divine. That is what is religion. Now look at this ulterior, cocktail, this cocktail of ultra left, the red, the ultra green, which come together and with their own personal greed to create an animosity between two brothers here, that whenever there is a foreign delegate or important people who are coming, when it was Trump who was coming here, they created the rights. When there is a G20 which is coming up, now they try to create this kind of ruckus. Now these are the people who come from a background. Now who are these people? Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said the right of the Muslim is over the resources over Hindus. These are the same people who stopped Malini Avishti ji from singing a bhajan on Doordarshan when UPA was in government because that bhajan had contest to Janmabhoomi. These are the same people who stopped Durga immersion in West Bengal. You know, these are the same people who divide the society in various parts. Now, I am pained to hear this word called as saffron terrorist. All these decades, you know, Arnab, from my birth till my college days until coming to politics, I heard one thing: terrorist does not have religion. But all of a sudden, when there was no terrorist activity been done by any Sanatani or any Hindu, they came out and gave a term called as Hindu terrorism or saffron terrorism. Please show me a single incident which is. These are the people who play with these kind of words. They create narrative only when there is a visitor coming to this country. And here, we see that they are deliberating doing this because there is a G20 session which is going to come up.
No.
This is an attempt by them to create this ruckus so that we fight.
I think they're doing it because Hinduism is seen to be a soft target. And Lokesh, let me explain.
No, we need to reform.
No, 1 minute. First of all, I tell you one thing, Vivek.
Yeah.
You need to understand, if there is any religion in the whole world which has embraced, welcomed social reform at every step, it is Hinduism. You may want to study this before discussing this, and that is what makes Hinduism the religion of 100 crore people in this country. Here is a question of provocation, Lokesh. I may be of a calm temperament, I may not get provoked. But Rashmi, I'm just saying, may get provoked. In any case, even if Rashmi were not to get provoked, you should not make a comment like this. The comment being made is, Mile Mulayam Kanshi Ram, Hawa mein ud gaye Jai Shri Ram. Why? Mile Mulayam Kanshi Ram, Hawa mein ud gaye Jai Shri Ram. Why?
Because Jai Shri Ram.
Why have you equated your leaders to our gods? Why have you equated your leaders to our gods? I'm sorry. Let me ask the question here. Let me ask the question.
A particular.
Yes. Would you say Christianity is the hoax? Would you say Christianity is the hoax? Would you say Christianity is the hoax? Would Sonia Gandhi, Antonia Di Maino, would Sonia Gandhi say, would Sonia Gandhi accept someone? Would Sonia Gandhi accept someone? 1 minute. Lokesh, Sonia Gandhi is a practicing Christian and a Catholic. 1 minute. The question being, Rashmi, not polemical but very real. Would Sonia Gandhi accept any leader of the Congress party saying, Miss Sonia Gandhi, the religion you practice is a hoax? She would not.
Arnab,
would they
I
say
do not
Christianity is a hoax? They would
such
not.
Statement.
So but why would people? Why is it okay to say Hinduism is a hoax?
Every religion.
Why?
Because you're tolerant, Arnab.
No. Why are people saying Hinduism is a hoax? How is Hinduism a hoax? And how is your alliance, which says we are united in everything, not taking a position on it? Why is the alliance not taking a position on it?
Why isn't the UP government acting on it? What is keeping the UP government and administration silent? If the statement made, as you rightly said, is unacceptable, derogatory, why isn't the administration acting? Don't you think it is the responsibility of Uttar Pradesh administration and the government?
You choose not to condemn this statement and you're expecting an entire government to come down on something you're even refusing to condemn. I think the question is simple. Do you condemn this statement or not? Do you also condemn the fact that your party has been consistently making anti-Hindu comments and taking the tolerance of the Hindus for a ride? Do you think it is a
what you are doing over here
political
is you are
position to be taking?
provocating people.
This is exactly what you want.
You're provocating people. You're people provocating. You're making anti-Hindu statements. And now you're
over here. Why isn't the administration
I think there's a strategy here. Okay, 1 minute. You repeated the question 7 times. Rashmi is responding once. Thank you, Rashmi.
That I'll respond.
First Rashmi. Yeah. I want to hear what she says. So, yeah.
Well, Arnab, it seems very clear here that a playbook is being used wherein they provoke the Hindus, and when they register protest, it's being used as, weapon to say that, okay, Hindus are provoking everybody. The panelist here just said you're provoking, you're being provocative. What was, just because we register protest in the most civil manner over a debate and not out on the streets calling for blood, that's the reason we get defamed. Unfortunately, it's the intolerance of Hindus, it's the tolerance of Hindus which is being taken for a ride over and over by the Congress and also the Samajwadi Party and all the other parties which are associated.
I want to hear about
This
the Brahmins.
debate is not about Brahmins. He clearly said Hinduism is a hoax. Why are you deliberately trying to shift goalposts here? Why are you shifting?
Isn't it?
Why are you shifting goalposts here? We're talking about him saying Hinduism is a hoax. You're clearly trying to shift
we were here to discuss
goalposts
what he said,
and turn it
and he talked about the Brahmins and the Brahminical caste structure.
Lokesh, am I right in reading? Lokesh, 1 minute. Lokesh, am I right in reading that I feel that I actually feel Rashmi has a point? And let me tell you where I think she's right. You know, and everyone knows that Yogi's star is rising in Uttar Pradesh, right? And the way Yogi has brought the Hindu vote together, I'm being very clear about it, and got the entire vote together in Uttar Pradesh is seen to be a threat. And it's a threat to the caste politics of Mulayam. Mayawati is not relevant anymore, which his son Akhilesh has inherited. Now, in that situation, it becomes extremely essential for the Samajwadi Party to do something to divide the Hindu community. So tomorrow, if you were to arrest Swami Prasad Maurya for his statement, you would be seen to be acting against a leader of a caste group, and that would lead to a caste-based response to the situation. And what you want, rather what the Samajwadi Party wants, is a division in the Hindu vote. I think the threat for you is exactly the point that was made earlier by Dushyant, that you may be surprised, you may, allow me. I think the opposite will happen. I think the Hindu vote will come together. When you say the religion itself is a hoax, your attempt to break a religion on caste lines may have the opposite effect. Lokesh, I think the Hindu vote may come together.
No, I would like to make a point here. It's not about Hindu vote or non-Hindu vote. If a statement has been made by Swami Prasad Maurya, which is unacceptable, then the administration must act. If every decision of the administration is political, then it is the failure of the government. On what basis it is acting as a champion of Hindus?
What is your view on what he has said? What is your view on what he has said?
I do not support any political leader expressing any form of a derogatory term towards any religion.
Why are you being so queasy about it? Why don't you speak?
Of words.
No. I'm not talking about any leader in any situation, in any time, in any context. I'm speaking about Swami Prasad Maurya's comment.
Yes.
Specifically.
I do not support such usage of words. If he wanted to compare Hinduism with other religions, there could have been better choice of words, a better framing.
Arnab, can I come in and ask you the question?
Religious sentiments.
So please, let me compare two prime ministers. Let me compare two prime ministers for your benefit. Prime Minister Nehru then called himself, he said, I would rather call myself to be a donkey rather than to be called as Hindu. What is your comment on that? Number two, Rajiv Gandhi, he acted against a poor woman when she was getting a right from the Supreme Court. When Shah Banu case, he reversed the orders by bringing in an ordinance whereby the alumina was stopped. In the case of, let me complete the question, sir. Manmohan Singh ji said the rights of the Muslims are over Hindus. And we see on the other part, the current Prime Minister.
Sir, please do not spread misinformation on a national television.
He's not asking whether you are Salma, whether you are Sarita, but he's passing on the benefits to them. See the number of gas cylinders been given to women, more than 9 crores. See the number of houses being given in the PM Awas. Now, can you please tell me, why did Mr. Nehru prefer to be called as donkey than to be called as Hindu?
Can you tell me the source where it is mentioned?
Please tell me, sir.
Can you tell me the source where it is mentioned about Prime Minister Nehru saying this statement? Sir, please do not spread misinformation.
Sir,
well, you must have graduated from a WhatsApp university.
As every congressman does, they don't read.
This is
please,
not
sir,
documented
you may not
anywhere.
know about me. I come back with a lot of research, sir. Please understand this. If you want me, I can give you the number of the date. I can give you the page where it was written. Please read, sir. Please tell me whether did Manmohan Singh tell or not. Whether
now you are coming to Manmohan Singh. Listen to me, sir. Congress has always stood for separation of religion from politics. However, you want to muddy the water to make
Congress
it
stood for appeasement.
So what you do
they
is you bring in
second
religion
majority.
into politics.
They were there to defend
And
only second majority.
it is your
Was Manmohan Singh ji not in the favor of distributing the resources only to Muslims?
Please
tell me that,
is
sir.
based on
Please tell me.
religion,
Did Sonia Gandhi led UPA said Ram was a mythology? Please tell me that, sir. Please tell me. Did you say this?
I think 1 minute. Lokesh.
No, sir.
Let me
Please
bring in
get your facts correct.
Asghar. If someone said this about your religion or any other religion, how would you have responded?
As per my religion,
What is being said about Hinduism?
we are bound to pay the respect to every religion, Hindu or other, every religion we are bound to pay the respect. But as well as the question of present topic, since that statement was delivered by some political person, Maurya Prasad ji, that is why the issue become political. Otherwise, it was having no worth. There are so many important topics like employment, health, education.
No, this is an important subject. No, I don't think so, sir. I don't think so, sir.
In the interest of country.
Did you 1 minute?
This is not an important
There are
topic.
statements.
all right.
One minute. Mr. Khan. There are statements. 1 minute, Mr. Khan. 1 minute. You can't get away with that. You know, when Nupur Sharma of the BJP made that unfortunate statement, you remember at that time Professor Geeta Bhatt also came and said that what Nupur has said is wrong. And we stood by you because your sensitivities, your feelings were hurt. Right? And that was the right thing to do. You know, to stand against an intemperate remark that was made at that time. Nobody said what Nupur Sharma said is not important. There are many important things in this country to do. But when Swami Prasad Maurya says something like this, why is it that this statement is not important? There are other important things to discuss. No. What Nupur Sharma said was highlighted. What Swami Prasad Maurya has said should also be highlighted.
What is wrong?
Because Swami Prasad Maurya of the Samajwadi Party has made a direct attack on Hinduism, saying Hinduism is a hoax.
No, Arnab, why I am saying like that?
No.
Arnab,
Rashmi is on the debate.
This statement.
Rashmi,
the dharma is only Sanatan Dharma.
What is wrong with the statement that Hinduism is a hoax?
No, any book,
Sir, the statement is Hinduism is a hoax. You are saying what is wrong with the statement?
No. Nowhere it is mentioned. Not even in
now
any
you
book.
will now
There
it is.
was some reason behind.
Now, it's very convenient for you to talk about all the problems in the world when Hinduism is being disrespected. When your own religion gets disrespected, that becomes the single most important problem to you. That is the hypocrisy that we are trying to call out. Because many panelists here have supported you when your beliefs, when your sensitivities were challenged. But when the same is happening here, you want to change the problems. You want to talk about every problem that is under the sun, then accept the fact that Hindus are being disrespected, political parties are making active statements against Hindu Dharma. It was only, I think, it was less than a week ago that we were discussing what a Congress leader was saying about the rise of anti-Hindu hate within the party. A very senior leader came out saying that this is something that he's been observing in top-tier meetings. It is a grave concern for 80% of citizens who share this country with you, for your fellow countrymen, and you seem to be least bothered about it, and you seem to be shifting goalposts. That is the point. A direct question.
I need to take a 1 minute. But this is the important point here, and I'm going to come back to this debate. I gave it time deliberately, which is why what Nupur Sharma said, everybody speaks about, everybody condemns. Equally, the BJP, suspends her, expels her from the party, removes her as spokesperson. The Supreme Court comments on it, and it is discussed for at least 1 month, and the entire global media talks about it. But when a very important leader comes and says Hinduism is a hoax, when somebody says Hinduism is a dirty word, when the CPM mocks Lord Ganesh, when a political party mocks the Hindu faith, when the Congress abuses the Gita press, when Swami Prasad Maurya says I need to ban the Ramcharitmanas, At that point of, and now when he says Hinduism is a hoax, then we are told, no big deal, Hindus. Don't worry about it, Hindus. Why pay it attention? Talk about other issues. And that is my essential problem. I think we are avoiding the subject which we should not. So I'm going to come back to this after a quick 30-second secured break with Securite. 30-second secured break with Securite.
The Amity Law School, ranked among the top 10 in India, educates some of the most brilliant students who get recruited by top law firms and go for higher studies to leading universities like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge and UCL. To apply, visit amity.edu.
The pivotal power descent has begun and the lander module is propelling towards the moon's surface along the intended trajectory.
वेस के एकदम करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते।
Dushyant, I want to go back to you. That do you feel that there's a possibility of political and electoral consolidation also, voter consolidation, because this has become such a pattern?
For that, Arnab, if Swami Prasad Maurya is going to speak like this another 5 times in 5 meetings, I think that consolidation will happen.
You think so?
I think he's I think
do you think it's an answer?
I feel he has taken upon the job of Hindu vote consolidation on himself. Else, why would such a statement come? When people say that there are better things to talk about in this panel, they said there's unemployment, price rise. He could have spoken about that. Why did the word Hindu come into his meeting? And why did the statement that Hindu religion is a hoax come into the meeting? When you say that there are other issues, talk about the other issues. Why did you talk about this? So then you have taken up the task on yourself to be assertive. On a very serious note, Arnab, I feel every citizen of this Bharat Desham, immaterial of their caste, religion, community, should be very, very responsible as a citizen towards preserving this democracy. In that angle, the Hindus should realize that people who abuse us, we don't take weapons. We don't go telling people do this, do that. But at the same time, we have the weapon bestowed upon us as the vote. And we have the right to choose the right person.
Sir, why isn't the administration acting? It is a clear case of IPC section 504.
First of all,
tell me, why isn't the Yogi administration acting?
Okay, first of all, why should a person utter this?
If Mr. Yogi is such a champion to the cause of Hinduism, what is stopping him to act?
Well, Arnab, I have an answer. In that case, Yogi should act. At the same time, the party should expel him. Let both do the same.
No, so let the administration do its task.
Let the party
shall
expel him.
Follow the due course of action.
The party should
you can
realize,
invoke representation of People's Act.
That what
you
he
have
has
laws
spoken
with
is absolute
yourself. You have administration
he has
with
not
yourself.
done justice
What is
by
stopping
speaking
you?
about for a religion.
What
then
is stopping you?
So
sir, tell me one thing. Legally, you are bound to act.
But just, can I just get her in, because Geeta, Professor Geeta Bhatt, I'm thinking at this time today,
Yogi ji,
right, of whose? Can I just ask Geeta here? You know, viewers, there is a lobby which dreams up this narrative that minorities are under threat, Muslims are under threat. There is Islamophobia in India, and today, Professor Bhatt, it's very important for us to think about where those people are. Where are these Ramachandra Guha, Aparna Sen types who say that there is no place for Islamophobia? Why don't they say there is no place for Hindu phobia? You know, the whole argument is really turning now, isn't it? Yeah, Professor Bhatt.
Arnab, the pseudo-liberals, they suddenly vanish whenever we find that there are political leaders or anyone in the civil society who comes out and says whatever they want to say for Hindus. And let me say that Swami Prasad Maurya, he's not just any loose cannon. You know, this is a very, very calculative way of coming out whenever any important event
breaking the Hindu vote
organized in the country, or if there is anything happening which is significant in the country, they want to showcase that Hindus, they are, divided in caste and varnas. I mean, coming out and saying that, Hindu religion is a deceit. Let me say that Hindu is the only ordination which is a civilization. It is a civilization. Let me please complete. Hindu is the only ordination which is a civilization.
Hindu, and he has a right to reform. He has a right to question.
No, I think Yogi is doing a smart thing. No.
Most assimilative.
No, I think Yogi is Professor Bhatt.
Culture and is also a mode of religion.
Yeah.
No, Geeta.
Yeah, but just one minute. Let me get Rashmi and Dushyant in. I think Yogi is being very smart. I think Yogi understands quite clearly that here is a political party which has made Swami Prasad Maurya one of its 13 or 14 general secretaries and given him a job, Lokesh. Let me tell you, Swami Prasad Maurya has been given a job of dividing the Hindu vote on caste lines, even if it comes at the cost of sparking violence.
No, are we against reservation?
I'm telling you,
are we against reservation?
Yogi is very clear, he's seen through it.
80% Hindus are not one, Arnab.
No, but I think in the country there is a debate today.
Yeah.
In the country there is a debate today that political parties in this country must declare whether they will allow this kind of constant Hindu phobia and Hindu abuse.
Arnab, political parties, I'm talking on the same line as you, political parties in this country, primarily the BJP needs to declare if it is against reservation, if it considers that atrocities against Dalits were committed ever or not.
And
if you want to remove reservation against Dalits and OBCs, be clear and say that now.
Dalit OBC politics which is over.
No, it's not over.
There is only a wave of nationalism in this country. It has swept aside your
Mr. Goenka from BJP declare that reservation should not be there. Let him declare. He is from the BJP. I say reservation should be there. Let Dushyant declare.
Dushyant and then Vinith.
Yeah, let Dushyant declare.
Arnab, a statement was made against atrocities against Dalits, correct? Then which was the party and the men that attacked a Dalit called Mayavati?
No. You are diverting.
Why not?
You are diverting.
No, precisely.
You are diverting.
She was attacked.
I am asking you a simple
She was
question.
attacked.
If 80% Hindus are one monolithic structure and you consider all of them equal, do you support reservation or you don't support reservation?
Simple. In the guest
I don't
house
consider
attack in the
80%
case,
Hindus
why was she
as one.
attacked?
Because they were
Why
never
was
one.
she attacked? Why was Mayavati a Dalit woman?
So I think that's a very
You had certain communities and castes which are always dominated.
A very revealing comment made here, Vinith, where he has said Hindus were never one. Hindus will never be one. Hindus will always be divided. And that's the fear, Vinith. If Hindus forget about caste and want to vote on issues of nationalism and development, then the whole base of this caste-based politics in Uttar Pradesh is over. And if they can't bring in caste-based politics in Uttar Pradesh, then their national experiment and aspirations are over. So what? I believe that this arrow is being fired not by Swami Prasad Maurya alone, but perhaps on behalf of the alliance, which is mum on what he has said. Vinith.
Just 45 seconds. One, I'm reminded of 2019 July, just before the earlier election in that time, 2018 July something, when Aparna Sen and all this gang, they came up and they wrote a letter to the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister and today's Prime Minister and tomorrow's Prime Minister Modi ji, that Jai Shri Ram is a war cry which creates hatred and this thing. At the same time, these are the same Leli gang which comes up and says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah is a emotional cry. These are the people who try to create this. Sir, these are both ways to reach their God, their faith. They cannot divide this. We have a good government right now. You asked about the position, sir. Let me tell you why I'm proud about the Prime Minister right now. The Prime Minister.
I asked you,
I never have courage to listen, sir. I never interrupt. Have courage to listen, sir. I'll tell you. Yes, I'll tell you about this thing. Have courage. When the gas was distributed.
Why is he interrupting? Why is Lokesh interrupting?
Then, sir, I never spoken about it. When the benefits were given, when the benefits were given, nobody asked.
Which is not correct.
Or Sukhwinder or Suzanne, The benefits were
No,
given
what is he
without
asking?
the-
What are you asking, Lokesh?
He is diverting.
So
No,
I'm telling you
Arnab,
this, sir.
in August
When gas was cylinders
2021,
were given,
in
9.67
Mathura,
crore
a
cylinders were
Muslim
given.
man's
Nobody
dosa
asked
shop,
whether she was
which was
Muslim or
named
Muslim.
Srinath Dosa Shop,
When-
was vandalized
please
by the
tell me,
Karyakartas,
did you
and he was
ask
forced to
when the
change the
general
name
accounts
to
were given,
American
whether he was
Dosa
Muslim or
Shop.
Christian?
Tell me
The
one
benefits
thing,
were transferred,
such form
sir.
of hatred
when
towards
roads were
Muslims
built,
in the
nobody
Yogi
was asked
government,
whether
is
he
it
was Dalit or
something
he was,
that is
upper
example
caste
for
or
a
something.
benevolent
Do you
government?
ask whether he is, Shia or Sunni or Ahmadiyya or Bori? Please tell me.
Sir,
Do they have Shias?
So what you are trying to do over here is you are provocating. You are provocating the Hindus.
Please tell about that particular part.
No, you are provoking the Hindus so that they can target the
I want to
Muslims.
know, just one minute. I want to ask politicians like Vivek a simple and elementary question. Their entire politics is based upon saying we must bring Muslims to vote as one, but at the same time they say Hindus must never be one. No. I find it very, very ironical. No. Either 1 minute, Vivek. You see this point here. You see this point here.
India is one.
No, 1 minute. They say that Muslims must vote as one.
Saying India should vote as one.
Muslims must vote as one, and the BJP must never refer to Pasmanda Muslims. But Hindus were never one and should never be one.
Hindus were never one, yes.
Arnab,
So Hindus were never. Will you say the same thing about any other religion? Are there not sects in Christianity? Are there not divisions in Christianity?
I mean, why do you
are there
want-
not churches in Christianity?
Whether they are or
Are
they
there
are
not
not, how is it
differential
important?
beliefs in Christianity?
You want to
Are
copy
there
it?
not practices
Are
in
you trying to
Christianity?
tell me
But you would not
something
talk
is
about
wrong with
Christianity.
somebody else, you want to
would only
copy that?
speak about Hinduism. Why?
What I'm saying is,
You tell me what is
I'm
it? Why would you?
I'll tell you.
No, Rashmi, are you
I'll
seeing
tell you.
this? Are you
Why
seeing
don't
the
we go for
comment?
reforms?
Are you seeing the nature
Why
of the
don't we
comment?
go for reforms?
Would you say that?
You want 80% Hindus
Let
to
me
be
join
one?
you for the reform, sir. Then here, patience.
You want to have 80%?
Have a debate here on your right. On your right.
80% of Hindus can be one if you remove the reservation of the Brahmins in the temples. They can be one as Indians.
Can't we have a women archbishop? Why can't we have a women archbishop? Why can't a Syrian enter a Catholic church, sir? Why can't a Pashminda Muslim?
Okay.
Sunni Muslim.
So you are justifying.
Sir, please tell me
You are
that.
justifying
So
Brahmanical
reform,
dominance
let us reform
by
our
quoting
brothers.
other religions.
Why can't we reform our brothers,
Mr.
sir?
Goenka is
Yes, sir, you can't tell
justifying
us. You don't have courage.
atrocities against the Dalits.
I think the question here is
by quoting other religions.
either we say in this country, either we say there must be no religious polarization when it comes to politics, but we can't say there mustn't be polarization for the Hindu community, but polarization for every other community.
Because the Hindus are in a majority. You are already there.
Is it a crime to be a minority?
No,
majority or
you
minority?
are already a majority, and in a civilized country,
Dushyant wants to come in. Dushyant wants to come in.
the majority must take
Can I get
minority.
Dushyant in? This is a revealing comment. Another. Hindus must be divided when it comes to politics. Muslims and every other religion must be consolidated. It goes back to what Dushyant said. And people are watching this debate. Yogi is being very smart. He's not responding to Swami Prasad Maurya, who is trying to do his best to invite action. But people are also watching the debate. Dushyant.
Arnab, I just feel every statement made by such panelists, every statement made by Maurya is just going to lead to Hindu vote consolidation. The more they speak about Hindus cannot be voting as one, there is this, there is that, Hinduism is a hoax, all this is going to happen. We don't have to work hard at all. They've done the job.
So, sir, you want to say that Mr. Maurya is being instigated by BJP to deliver such statements? If such is the scenario, tell me one thing.
In that case, in any case, Arnab, he should be expelled from the party.
That it was a pre-plan that
party.
BJP has directed Mr. Maurya to give this statement.
Oh my goodness! Don't use such beautiful logical arguments with me.
No, you are.
In that case, like Nupur Sharma, he should be expelled from the party.
No, it is the duty of the administration to register a case. Why isn't the case being registered? On what basis the Yogi administration or Mr. Yogi calls himself as a champion of Hindus?
What Hindu?
Well, do you want there to be more discord out there? Do you want the fight to widen? You're asking for a fight.
Forget
It's
the fight,
almost like
ma'am.
you're
It's about the
throwing
rule of
punches
law.
and asking for
When you are
a fight.
claiming
You're
that the
asking for a
Yogi
fight.
government and administration is benevolent, it's efficient, why isn't it acting?
I think it's very much up to the Hindu community to
I just feel
it should not act.
I feel
your hollowness. This shows your
I feel when during the Nupur Sharma episode, the Samajwadi Party asked for visible action against Nupur Sharma. In this episode, I think the BJP is right in demanding visible action against Swami Prasad Maurya. But obviously, as you are seeing, viewers, you know, when it comes to that, they say that our rights are greater rights than yours. So that's the irony out here.
We had not
Viewers,
discussed the
debates like
history of
this
the world.
are not meant to provoke you. They are meant to make you think. As we move towards the 2024 elections, it becomes very, very important for us to dissect not what is said, but why it has been said. And that's why we debate. See you tomorrow at 9. Good night and goodbye.
The Amity Law School, ranked among the top 10 in India, educates some of the most brilliant students who get recruited by top law firms and go for higher studies to leading universities like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge and UCL. To apply, visit amity.edu.